Alright, so this is part 2, and on this hand, I'm going to be talking about indulgence. So, indulgence. Why is it bad? Well, you got to take into account. Let's say you get into this habit of doing something. It's a little naughty thing you doing here and there, occasionally, but eventually it becomes a habit. And that habit becomes this, not necessarily a defense mechanism, just something that you just fall back on as an excuse. Let's say you're a typical guy who may not be so lucky with the ladies. So what do? You use your imagination, you masturbate. A bad habit, right? So it becomes, well, it actually becomes a habit because the more you get denied, the more unsuccessful nights of your wannabe one-night stands, you're going to just beat off, and then all of a sudden, it's just going to be your normal thing, you know? When it becomes, you get to a point of basically critical mass, I like to call it. It becomes so common, you don't even do it anymore just because it's just something to do because it makes you feel good. It's a release. It makes you feel just as accomplished as the next man who has sex every morning with, if not one, but many different women. You know what I'm saying? Or every night. So, my point with this is, when you indulge in certain practices, in your mind, it is seemingly innocent as how it started. But see, when you practice evil, or you practice bad habits, in your mind you think, well, you know, I mean, it ain't, because it's like you thinking about how much it affects you. Not much. You know, I mean, it works out for me. But how does it affect everyone else? Now, masturbation, I don't really think that affects everyone, you know. But maybe when you get in a relationship, it might affect the other person because, you know, when you masturbate a lot, you're not really, you know, as turned on by the physical act of sex because you're more caught up into your imagination. You think too fast. Why the hell did I use this example? Oh man. But anyway, so let's get back to the practicing evil. The reason why I said practicing evil is because you gotta take into account how, especially for black folks, when we came into this country, a lot of these holidays and such were just put upon us as just things that we must celebrate. But we all know that there's a history behind everything that we do. Now, I haven't really got it down, packed my information for Halloween in particular, but let's be clear. Halloween is a perfect example of evil practice. I mean, this is when the Wiccans and Ouija boards come out of nowhere. I will punch you in the motherfucking face if I'm in a room with you and a group of people and you talk about let's open a damn door with a Ouija board. I'll beat the fuck out of you. Don't play with me and spirits and none of that shit. I'm paranoid enough. But what I'm saying with this is, Halloween, you got to take into account. Now, a lot of women, and I'm going to get to men in a second, a lot of women will talk bad about a female who dresses comfortably outside. Call her all types of whores and all this and that. Just because she's comfortable with herself. Doesn't mean she's a whore because she has skin exposed, you know. It's just she's comfortable with who she is. This is how she feels comfortable dressing. But on Halloween, you would practically walk around in your damn drawers and then, oh, it's just for the fun of the act. But then what do you get into? You get all drunk, you get all in this and that. You do horror shit. And then have the audacity the next morning to talk about that same old girl. She's not practicing evil. See, we were born fucking naked. Actually, when you go back to how we lived before we got civilized, you know, it was basically loincloths and sashes and shit. You didn't really have designer clothes on. You didn't have even damn shoes. So that's actually our natural state, being free, you know. So when people, whomever it was, decided people need to wear clothes, they started to create this this persona that if you wear clothes that reveal much, you are a defiled woman. You know, this is mainly pertaining to women, even though it's a double standard because a man can walk around with his shirt off. I think that's unfair. I wouldn't mind walking around downtown and seeing some titties, you know what I'm saying? Unless they them sandbag titties, you know, or them tube sock titties. Like you gonna step on her, or if she hit him with her knee, they gonna slap her in the face type of titties. I don't want to see that. But beyond that, let's get to the men. Halloween. I mean, like I said, all the shit that men talk all year about how great a guy they are to this one chick that they're trying to impress. Let the opportunity present itself. I guarantee you, some sinister stuff is really gonna come forth. This dude gonna finally see his chance. It's Halloween. She looking nice. Bam! Next morning, it's a case of rape. She wanted it. Did you see how she was dressed? I mean, come on with the fuckery, people. When you practice evil, all of a sudden it just seems so innocent. Oh, in your mind, because of how you feel about it, it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just this and that. And then comes shit like that. And then, you pretty much just fuck someone's life up. I mean, come on, man. Over something that you presume was so innocent. See, when you practice stuff, it justifies why shit happens and why people do the fucked up things that they do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then the history behind Halloween. I mean, this gets into some spiritual shit. That's why I brought about the Ouija boards and Wiccans and shit. I'm not going to talk about it on there. But my point is, you got to understand what you indulge in. It's kind of like when you talk about alcoholic. I mean, it starts off with one drink, then you build a tolerance. The more you drink, the less it takes for you to get, drunk. The less it takes. I mean, it's practically like you could drink more and it takes longer for you to get drunk. I'm not alcoholic. I don't fucking drink, obviously. I'm too skinny for that shit. It's like if you put a fucking piece of bread in a bowl of water, I'll just soak that shit up and then, well, shit, I can't soak it up. And I'll just be drunk as shit. Yeah, like an alcoholic. It gets to a point where it's like, and then you just fuck your body up. Liver's all blown to shit. Your kidneys all full of stones. Maybe, I don't know what happens when you drink too much alcohol. And you just, you fuck yourself up. Weed. Some people start off as smoking maybe once a week. Then it goes to twice, 3 times. Then fucking gotta have one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, weed is natural and it's, it's good. But too much of anything is bad for you. And that's a fact. You can't overindulge in shit. And I know I can't be talking because I'm a video gamer. And overindulging that will fuck your brain and your eyes up. Especially when I love video games. The idea that it takes your mind somewhere. But the shit that these video games put in your head sometimes. But it's like the story captivates you to where it's like you want to complete it. But is it really that serious? Not really. Or another evil that I practice in particular, chasing women. As in my previous video, I spoke of catcalling. I mean, yes, I have bad intentions behind it because, I'm a horny male. But I'm not to a point where I'm going to stalk a woman or if I get the opportunity, I'm going to rape her because I don't understand how it could even get to that point with some dudes. Like, really, you really fucking need help. But, yeah, like, so many women to choose from, I don't have those options, but just the simple fact that when you practice shit like that, it might seem innocent to you, but think about how it affects the other people. And this relates to my last video, come on, man. The things we do, we don't think it affects other people, but, we all a part of the same universe. I guess you can kind of relate it to physics, What I do will affect how this person moves. My mood will affect how the room feels. It's that unseen world. If we can adjust our eyes to see that, if certain colors can display the positive or negative feelings that we put up, we can turn that on. I'm pretty sure we would know how we create the world around us. See, when we're having a bad fucking day, everything's negative. When we're having a good fucking day, everything's beautiful. How can you not see that? So if you can understand that what you do to yourself affects other people. When you practice evil, then You are creating a world that where evil seems like it is just the normal thing to do. It's innocent. We even have it to where our kids are practicing evil. See, you gotta understand the history of this shit. Where is the birth of Halloween? Where did it come from? You know, I can go on for a long time about this, but all I'm saying is, sometimes you gotta do without shit to really have a more clear vision of what really matters to you. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I brought up the whole catcalling thing and all that, and my personal issue with approaching women, is because when you do without it, I mean, you get a better sense of who you are, more respect for you as a human being, as in not letting a woman define how interesting you are. And it's not to say it in any negative fashion. It's just a simple fact that you don't always have to indulge in things to determine what type of person you are. Sometimes you could do without that shit and be perfectly fine. It's just all in your state of mind that if you don't do this, your day will be unfulfilled, you're bored, whatever excuse you come up with. Indulgence, to me, is as deadly as pride. I mean, sometimes you gotta do without that shit, because it can fuck you up. And I know I come off as a know-it-all, but I'm just saying, sometimes we gotta take these things into account. I mean, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Just think about it. But other than that, I appreciate you guys' time listening to my bullshit. And I just hope you guys have a great day. I'm pretty sure you already are. Fucking optimist. I can't stand you guys because I envy your optimism. I'm a pessimist by nature. Damn it. Thank you for giving me something to work forward to. Peace.